on Sunday, September 15th, and just picking up where we left off with this tail cone closeout today. I left off yesterday talking about how we were going to have to maybe change this a little bit, how the mount is on here. So when we fit that tail cone up on here, I might have made a mistake in that I don't know if the tail cone is supposed to fit between this gap right here, and there is a little bit of a gap there and up here, and then you could notch out that tail cone so it fits in there and compensates for that station 11 bulkhead. But didn't do that. So when we drilled the holes in the tail cone and then went to align it up here, the edge of that tail cone is, focus camera, it's right where the holes are, where we thought the holes were supposed to be, is right on the edge of the tail cone, that closeout. So we just need to extend that a little bit, and that's what we're going to work on today. And we couldn't bring these holes any more aft, or else that when we take them up to 11, basically there wouldn't be any material left there to make that 11. So we'll get that figured out. Like I said, we're just probably going to do a 1-inch spacer in there for the nut plate strip and go with that. So anyway, another absolutely beautiful day out here. Looking forward to the day and not looking forward to winter. Hopefully we'll be done. Oh boy, we better be done before winter. All right, here we go. Okay, found our stock that we're going to use for this rivet or nut plate strip, and this is the piece that came for the air box for the engine that we're not using since we got a different air box for it. So we're just going to use this. Going to cut this off. I'm going to get this fit up and see what we can get out of it. I want to talk a little bit about how we got this all done here on this tail cone closeout. And again, this is the Aerosport one. This is a fiberglass. Fiberglass, I think that might just be a carbon fiber reinforcement in there. But this is Aerosport, and we did this just like the Rand's instruction on these both sides. However, when we went to fit this up, I think I mentioned it earlier, but so here's this gap that's right here along this edge, and then there's a small gap underneath that edge there, across, and then up here. And I think the idea is that cone, that tail cone closeout should fit in that gap. You'd have to do some on the Aerosport one, you'd have to sand out a little bit on that corner so it fits in there, and then you have to just take offset the top a little bit there. So Not sure if that's what the intent was on that piece, but when we mounted it up and marked it for the holes, I messed it up. I messed up where the holes were supposed to be, and I marked them and drilled them out in order to put the nut plates in, and then realized that we'd done that in the wrong spot. So this hole is the actual hole, and it was awfully close to the edge on the original strip that Rand's supplies. So what we decided to do is make a wider strip out of this. I think I mentioned earlier, this is spare or extra scrap from the air box that we're not building. So we cut a piece of that and then riveted that in, and then added the nut plates to it. Also, it turns out, and it actually works pretty well. At one point I had practiced doing an edge form on that scrap piece, and it was this exact length, about 10 inches, and we cut that off and laid it in there and got to looking at it, and that edge form worked perfect for when you're putting this in the tail. It fits right in there pretty nice. So that's the story on that, why that's looking a little different. What's that? It was 9 inches. Oh yeah, we ended up cutting this to 9 inches to fit inside of there. But I think that edge form I did was like maybe 10 or so. It was pretty close, but it ended up working out just right. Okay, there it is. That's finished and installed on that tail cone closeout. Any notes from you on this? She's laughing.
No comment.
No comment. Ended up redoing the trim servo wire that comes through Station 11 bulkhead. Ended up adding some, we unpinned it from the connector, pulled it all out, added some more heat shrink, some thick heat shrink around it where it comes through that bulkhead. So it's got a little more chafing protection in there. I just didn't like how that was set up in there. So redid that. That took a little while, but we've got everything put back together now. Let's see if I can do this without having the wind on here. I don't know how it's going to come out, but another just gorgeous day today. Really nice day today. It's getting a little windy here this afternoon, but other than that, not bad at all. And done for the day today. Pretty good day. We ended up only working on 2 things. That was that tail cone fairing and this vertical stabilizer fairing. We had done this before, and you saw we primed that undersurface yesterday, but when we were putting it back on, and we noticed this before after we had done this quite a while ago, the holes for the nut plates, I don't know, well, what usually happens, seems like when we're doing those, is it slips a little bit, so the nut plates weren't exactly in the right spot, so we did just have to we just enlarged the hole on the carbon fiber fairing. We just had to make that like a couple sizes, maybe it's 1 or 2 sizes bigger, to get that to fit, so those screws weren't so tight in there and stressing on that. So it fits really good now. And like I said, I just talked about that tail cone. We got that stuff done. Coming up, we are waiting on the wing cuffs, the flap, I think they call it the flap, I can't remember, flap gap closeout, or anyways, it's that piece there. And then there's a rubber piece that goes on the front of the carbon fiber air box. We're not to the air box yet, but we got those 3 pieces coming in this week, and that's, I'm not sure. Oh, we're going to probably start looking at doing a closeout. There's a gap closeout that goes under the wing, but yeah, I'm starting to get a little excited. Really looking at it here, we're down to, let's see, we got that and that done. We're down to gap seals up there, underwing gap seals there, windshield get that sealed in and installed. Then we're going to be airbox, cowling, prop and spinner, and that's gonna pretty much be done. I'm sure there's gonna be some things come up, but then we're gonna start going back through, gonna run back through everything on the build. Oh, I want to clean up the spark plug wires too. They're a little unruly, not happy with how those are in there, so I'm gonna have to figure something out on that. But anyways, yeah, we're getting close. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the videos. Have a good evening, and that's it for now.